Wow, it seems like the beautiful lady cop is on my case. Of course, I'm trying to make my way into Kasarani area. It is just a few meters from this underpass. And for information, this is Thika Road, the famous super highway. On my left is Thika town. So the road goes all the way to Embu, Meru, and Nyeri. And by the way, Thika town is only about 35 kilometers from here. And on my right is Nairobi town, which is 12 kilometers away. But as I told you, today we are going to explore Kasarani estate. We are going to visit the shopping center and also deep in the neighborhood where the people stay. We want to see how they live. And remember, Kasarani is not your ordinary neighborhood. Foremost, it is the second most populated constituency in Nairobi after Lang'ata. And secondly, it is home to the biggest stadium in the country. I'll be hitting the town center in less than a minute, although there is a slow traffic jam, but that is not a major problem. But before I get there, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. So make sure you show some love by subscribing to this channel so that we can travel and document all the small villages and towns in this country together. Now back to the video, and I can see Kasarani town ahead. It's about 100 meters away. And on my left, there is Kasarani police station. I hope you can see the stone wall on my left. Actually, it is one of the biggest police stations around Nairobi, especially on matters around crimes and investigations. But unfortunately, I have some serious reservations regarding the station. Sometimes back, I came here with some serious case, but they never showed any care. Well, that's me. I'm sure you might have a different opinion or experience. As far as the station services are concerned, lucky you. Well, let me first give some way to a serious driver who is trying to overtake me from my left. You know, the last thing Mr. Lone Traveler wants is trouble. So sometimes you give away, not because you are wrong or you are afraid, but just for peace and coexistence. I can see it's a beautiful public service vehicle. We call them here matatus. I'm not sure what color is that one. Is it pink or orange? But it's beautiful. I have my own issues with colors. There is also a beautiful mural at the back. I think it represents Red Indians, or you can call them Native Americans. I tell you, people out here are quite creative. You can see the brother was in a hurry to overtake, only to stop in the middle of the road. I think that is either arrogance or impunity. But to be honest, I don't have any opinion on that. I think I'm used to that. Welcome to Kenya, the land of the brave and the free. We are at the center of Kasarani Shopping Center, and this is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Nairobi. And history goes that it got its name from a nearby river, although I have not seen one. Maybe it's around the corner, I don't know. And they say the river comes from Kiambu area and has a Kikuyu name, that is Kasarani, name that is loosely translated to a place of napier grass. And the fact that most Nairobians could not pronounce that name right, they decided to call the area Kasarani. Well, I'm not quite sure whether that makes sense or how true is that, but I know you people have a lot of information about places. So if you know where the name Kasarani came from, you can tell us down on the comment section below, and we will appreciate you. It is also good to know that this is not your regular areas. It has a lot of neighborhoods which are home to thousands of people. For instance, there are neighborhoods such as Santons, Car Wash, and more. And it's also good to know that this road goes all the way to Moi area, another neighborhood with a crazy number of people. But all that are part of Kasarani sub-county, which, as I told you, is one of the most populated areas in Nairobi. Actually, it ranks second after Lang'ata. And you can check these numbers on your screen. The area has a total population of 780,000, 1,656 people. That is, of course, close to 1 million. And actually, it is not a big place, despite the big population, as it only measures 86.2 kilometers squared. You can do the maths. But with this kind of buildings, you can see them on both sides of the road. They are all-story buildings, tall buildings, and they can host tens of families. In terms of population density, Kasarani sub-county has 9,056 people per square kilometer. And this can tell you that this place is densely populated, while the annual population change is 4% per year. That tells you that in 20 years, if the trends continue, the area population would have increased by almost 100%. Well, I just left the main road that goes all the way to Moi area, and I want to dive deeper into the residential area. We want to see how the people live. I almost got carried away by the numbers. Of course, I'll be giving you more. And one thing that I really find fascinating about this neighborhood is how these buildings are tightly built. You can see there are no spaces between them, and almost all are tall. And of course, almost 99% of them are owned by Kenyans. Well, it seems like a good number of you are well mannered out here. And I think it will be nice if you show us your ways, patriots. Well, I want to give you more numbers about this area as we approach one of the gated communities in this neighborhood. And remember, the small area of Kasarani Estate has a total population of 56,417 people. And by the way, I hope you can differentiate between the estate and the constituency, which shares the same name. And also the sub-county also goes by the name Kasarani. And so the statistics I gave you about 3 minutes ago were for Kasarani sub-county. It's good to clarify that. Now we are on the estate, which I told you it has a slightly more than 56,000 people. 25,907 are men, while 29,610 are women. You can see the gender card is well balanced. Actually, there's only a difference of about 300 people in favor of men. That means that bagging a lady here might be an uphill task, especially if you are a broke dude or you're just ugly. Although I'm told a man's beauty depends on his pockets. Well, I'm not quite sure about that. Maybe ladies in the house can tell us more. Let's go on with the numbers. And the area has 18,761 households. And in terms of population density, Kasarani Estate has 6,250 people per square kilometer. That's a bit low, especially when compared to another neighboring estate that goes by the name Clay City, which has a population density of 18,046 people per square kilometer. Well, it seems like there's a lot of dancing activity in this area. You can see these kids on my right. They have some serious moves. There's another lot here. I'm not sure what is the occasion, but I can see they have some nice cameras. Maybe they are a bunch of TikTokers. And I can only say big up yourself, creators, and keep doing you. And so if you live in the neighborhood or you know them, you can give them a shout out on the comment section below. Well, enough with the dancing shenanigans. I can tell you that I'm in love with this neighborhood. It is a gated community. There are such beautiful houses for Kenyan middle class. You can also see the road here is well maintained and clean too. And there's a sport club here. You can see it on my right. Maybe I'll show you as I turn around, as it seems like the road has come to an end. So here it is. You can see it's a nice neighborhood. I'm not sure whether this Kasarani Sport Club is a members only, but that's the tradition across the country. And so you can tell the kind of neighborhood this is. Well, let me find my way out of this estate. I want to show you the other face of the neighborhood, so stick around. I'll also be giving you more numbers. It is also good to know that behind this estate, especially the houses on my left, is Kasarani Stadium, which goes by the name Moi International Sports Center. It is the biggest stadium in the country, and I'm told it has a seating capacity of about 60,000 people, I'm not sure how true is that. Personally, I thought it was more. Well, the stadium was built in 1987 with the second president of the Republic of Kenya, President Moi, and it also have a series of other facilities which include a running track. There is also a gymnasium and also an Olympic-sized swimming pool. There is also an indoor arena which has a seating capacity of 5,000 people and hosts volleyballs, basketball, badminton, and other indoor games such as boxing, wrestling, martial arts, table tennis. The list is endless. Well, the fact that President Moi afforded to build a stadium is one of the facts that baffles me, as most of the old-timers rank him as the worst leaders to run the country. Well, I don't like the guy either, I must be honest on that, but the stadium was quite a legacy. Okay, I want to give you more numbers, especially on age distribution regarding Kasarani sub-county, and it is good to note that out of the 780,000 people, those aged 65 and above are only 7,316. This is quite a low number, and this tells you that the number of the elderly is quite low. Let's check out more, and those aged between 0 and 14 are 242,256 people. You can see the difference between those aged between 0 and 14 and those aged 65 and above. The difference is like heaven and earth. While those aged between 15 and 64 are the majority, as there are 531,021 people. Well, the age statistic gets crazier the higher you go, as those aged 90 and above are only 229 people. And remember, Kasarani sub-county is quite a huge one. It covers 3 constituencies out of the 17 constituencies in Nairobi. And the first one is Kasarani, where we are right now. The second one is Roysambu, which covers most of Roysambu area, Zimmerman and Kawa West, and also Githurai 44. While the third constituency on the list is Ruaraka, which covers some parts of Babadogo area. There is an area that called Lakisama and Kariobangi North, if I'm not wrong. I stand to be corrected on that one, but you can imagine, out of the 3 constituencies, only 229 people are aged 90 and above. Well, that number is according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, and trust me, that number is quite concerning, because one question that is arising from that is that, where do you people take your old people? Is it the case of early death rate, or do they migrate to the village? I would really want to know. Well, the number does not really get better as you go down, as those aged between 80 and 89 in the 3 constituencies are at 728 people. Those aged between 70 and 79 years are 2,785. While the biggest age group in the sub-county are those aged between 20 and 29, as they are 212,331 people. Well, enough with the numbers, and as you can see, I'm about to get back to Thika Road. You can see the flyover ahead. We started our video right there, if you can recall. So what we have done is just going around the estate. And before I leave, let's check the real estate segment. And to start with, it is good to know that most people here rent houses, as owning home is quite expensive, as it is part of the city. And you can see it is a bit congested, so buying land is a problem by itself, as most spaces in the estate are developed. So unless you want to buy a developed one, and you can go ahead and take down the old one and start your modern building, and trust me, that will cost you a leg and an arm. But renting is quite popular, and to get a 2-bedroom apartment, you will need between 15,000 Kenya shillings and 35,000 Kenya shillings, depending on its location and condition. And remember, some buildings are very old, while others are pretty modern. Some are next to the main road, while others are a bit interior. And remember, all these factors plays a critical role when it comes to rent prices, and so you'll have to choose your battles wisely, especially if you feel like moving to Kasarani. And to get a 1-bedroom apartment, you'll need between 15,000 and 20,000 Kenya shillings. Well, let me leave you at that, and thank you for watching until this far. Please watch the scenic video until the end. Consider subscribing so that we can grow together, and like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible. You can also smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you'll be among the first few people to be notified. Also, keep the conversation going. Tell us, what do you think about Kasarani? Will you consider living here? Also, tell us what we should consider bringing next down on the comment section below. Thank you.